the jellyfish.
It's
just
slide?
yes, it's all the experiments that Laurie done for the jellyfish. A lot of things. We just to answer the question, we start from 7 grams of the wool in jellydew because the collector sends us many arms, oral arms, and in some tubes we have wool jellyfish. So we start from that because we took all the arm for the gene extraction, and then we just have 7 grams. So we grain again the jellyfish, and it was very difficult because of the high water content and the collagen content. So it was like ice cube, and she had to bring a lot to reduce to powder, but it wasn't so fine powder. She has floating or stick material that was difficult to recover. But anyway, we continue with the ARIMA standard input. And after pellet centrifugation, to obtain that kind of samples, with a colored pink pellet at the bottom, and a slime just here at the upper face. So we don't know what to do. So it's just came in here. She take the slime here, the slime and the pellets, and she put into many tubes. And then we treat 1 tube from the pellets and 1 from the slime. And very surprisingly, we obtained 2 libraries from those 2 type of tissue. So tissue. I don't know what is that, but and then we sequence them. I'm not a bioinformatic specialist, so I just put the result that we obtained just for Fernando. The result we obtained, but they're not pretty good at the library QC, but we don't have nothing else, so we continue. And we were very happy with the results. Here is the N50 of the ONT assembly. And then we scaffold with the ARIMA reads. We reached to 10 megabases N50. So we're pretty happy with the results. And this result was done with 2 libraries, with the slime part of the jellyfish and the colored pellet of the fish, jellyfish. So it was pretty good. So sometimes we feel it's bad, but sometimes it works also.
You also have illuminati.
Yeah, because it was an ONT assembly. So we use the Illumina rays to polish the ONT rays, and then we perform the assembly. In that case, Jean-Marc, this is a slide from Jean-Marc Corry, the bioinformatic. And another example with the coral, it was another coral data. That's what I told you yesterday, I think. We both test ARIMA and the offtake protocol, and we start from the total coral, which was flash frozen, and also with the polyps that were really isolated in ethanol. And then in the ARIMA case, we use the animal tissue, and we also have pre-grinding difficulties with that kind of tissue, but in any case, we fail with the library. You can observe here that I introduced this morning, sometimes we will look a little hole on the analyzer file profile, so like this. Anyway, the library failed, and in ethanol, when we isolate the polyps, we use the ethanol removal buffer. Just the recipe is in the Stoecknomic non-binder tissue handbook, and we use a fast prep for that kind of tissue. And at the end, the library passed. So we sequence also then, and for the dovetail part, we also do the same, but we also have the inefficient chromatin digestion. So the lysate was insufficient, even if we start with 0.5 microliters nuclease to 5 microliter nuclease, but all the profile were under digested. So we contact the dovetail support. Miriam told us to divide the biological material, increase the lysis time to 1 hour, combine several lysis on the CC bits. But it was also the same game. All the DNA was under digested. So we also tempt a library with that, with those profiles, but it failed also. We didn't obtain enough quantity to continue. And we also perform on polyp in ethanol. We applied the same protocol as we did in the aroma protocol. We just increased to our lysis and 2 microliters nuclease, and then the library succeed. So we go on and we sequence it, and in that case, we also have pretty bad results for the LibQC, but we go on with those two, and I'm sorry I don't have the final assembly matrix, but it's better than
Can you be sure the previous slide what worked? And in the end, it was both the polyps isolation and the removal buffer, and you had more of nuclease, no?
We had 2 microliter of nuclease, and we increased 1 hour. Yes, lysis. In the protocol, I think in the protocol it's written that we shouldn't change this part.
People always the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And just play with the nuclease concentration.
Yes. But Miriam, when we contacted Miriam, she told us that to try that.
Yeah.
So you mean
sometimes it works.
1 hour lysis, meaning the nuclease digestion?
Yeah.
Oh, 30.
Yeah, but if you look at this profile, we start with 0.5 to 5 microliters, and it was the same.
But it's a costly experiment, right? If you're going to do this on many samples, you have 3 parameters. You have time, you have the tissue amount, and you have the nuclease amount.
Yes, of course, but my feeling is the better is to reduce the input amount.
Okay,
for your
tissue
sample.
amount is more critical than...
I think it's better because if you have a lot of impurities, my feeling is that if you minimize your sample amount input, maybe it's a little bit better to reduce impurities. So when you think it's all over, try it.
Can I ask for tips on, do you have any other coral tips in terms of grinding it than just the polyps and in ethanol? Because we can't do that. So
Yes,
it needs to be.
we can do that. No. Also, I was discussing with Rams, so I think we can test the fast prep with zirconium.
Yeah.
BGE. It's better
That's probably the
test.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if sometimes it's many examples, but for coral it's different. For jellyfish, we have a lot of the jellyfish at the lab, and we start with, when it's possible, the collector give us the gonads of the jellyfish, and it was easier to treat. But in our experience, when we start with gonads, even of marine, whatever the invertebrate, I think we test gonads on jellyfish, on echinodermata. What else? I don't remember. But anyway, we are always obtain N50 lower than other tissue, but we have less impurities. So sometimes it's better to use the gonads, even if you have lower N50. That's all.
What happens if you increase lysis from 30 minutes recommended to 1 hour?
I've actually never done it. Usually we just go with adding more enzyme and keeping the time. We usually have the other problem that we don't. So I'm usually going with other.
Is it on both assembly?
We were discussing in our group, like sometimes it's just, user hard to know. My hands, it always goes over digestive. Something that we're doing is waiting too long, or something small. We're doing the same protocol, but
So it's pretty much the same as long reads.
it's a user specific. Yeah.
Because also on long reads, we have seen that with sequencing PacBio and in libraries with exactly the same DNA, the same protocol, profiles just different.